All right, everyone, this is Dave Palumbo, and I am here to do a little cooking tip with you. I know you guys like to know my recipes, and as all of you know out there, I am a big believer in the ketogenic diet, which is high protein, moderate fat, very low carb. So I know a lot of you guys are dieting for the spring and the summer coming up, and you want some nice, interesting dishes that you can eat and actually stick to a low carb regimen. So I'm going to show you something that I've used in the past, and I haven't made it in quite a while, so let's see what we can do. If you look down here, well, actually, the dish is chicken cutlets with almond flour coated breading. Delicious, all fat and protein. All right, look down here. We got our chicken breasts. Most of the chicken breasts I bought were big because Amanda likes to buy the ones that are on sale. So these are big ones. I had to cut them up. I cut them up into small pieces, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Usually what I do is I take a nice sharp knife, which is very rare in this house, and I kind of cut down the middle. Make sure you don't slice your hand open because that kind of kills the whole cooking fun and joy. Cut them down the middle. I always am a big believer. I like very thin chicken breasts. That's just me. I don't like thick chicken breasts. To me, I want it paper thin. I think I got it from my dad. My dad was always, whenever we would eat cold cuts as a kid, we would eat like ham, salami. He'd always have to have it very thinly sliced. So he got me into that. And so I'm trying to cut it as little as possible. And you can tear, there's no rules. You can tear these things up into small pieces here. To me, thin, small piece chicken cutlets are actually better than when you have these big, long, monstrous ones. So I do that. I got my one little piece left here. I might keep this. I'm going to see if I can cut it in half again. Once again, you got to be very careful. I trimmed all the fat off it too, so there's no visible fat. We don't need to add any extra unwanted fat. We're going to put good fats in a little minute. In a little minute, okay? Cutting it all up here. As you can tell, this is a really nice breast. There's no marbling, there's no tendons on it pretty much. We got it pretty clean. So we got a lot of pieces here, all right? The reason why I have a lot of chicken here is because I'm going to show you two ways to make it, not just one way. For the super healthy people and then the people who want a little bit maybe more flavor to it. So the first way we're going to do it is we're going to do chicken cutlets baked. The next way we're going to do it is we're going to do it fried, but we're going to use macadamia nut oil. Obviously macadamia nut oil, much heart healthy oil, way better than the polyunsaturates, you know, the cooking oils, corn oils that people use. This is going to be so delicious, and you don't have to worry about anything bad being in your diet. You're not going to have to worry about heart disease. You're actually going to make your heart better, okay? Let me wash my hands first because we want to have a clean, hands on the chicken, and then we're going to show you what to do. All right, now that I got my hands clean, now I can show you what the next step is. The next step is to get a bowl, and you're gonna get some omega-3 eggs, okay? The omega-3 eggs are the ones in the supermarket that say contains omega-3 fatty acids, all right here. Eggland's is a very popular brand, and they're pretty reasonably priced. And you're gonna take 2 whole eggs, and you're gonna crack them into the bowl. Okay, let's get rid of this garbage here. You're going to take your fork and you're going to just scramble them up like you're going to make scrambled eggs. This is your coating for your chicken. If you don't use these eggs and coat the chicken, the breadcrumbs will not stick to them. Okay, so this is a very important point. All right, now you get your plate, and I buy Red Mill almond flour, okay, and I spread it on the plate, okay. I got my eggs here, and here's my little assembly line. Now we're going to assemble our chicken cutlets. Okay, so we're going to take our chicken cutlet here. Let me just pull this little piece off. We're going to dip it in the egg. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to transfer it right to the breadcrumbs. We're going to just flip it around a little bit, get it nice coated. We're going to put it on a plate. Okay, we're going to do all these like this. Coat them. Now the advantage of doing this, once again, is you got to get these things nice and sticky, so otherwise these breadcrumbs will not stick to the chicken cutlet. And remember, this is pure almond. That's all it is ground up almond flour. There's no carbs whatsoever anywhere where we're sitting here. Whatever you're witnessing here is carb free, and that's what we want. We're making a nice ketogenic meal here. It gets a little messy, as you can see. Might have to have my assistant pour some more breadcrumbs, we'll see. Jedi, where's my cat? Jedi, get over here and pour some breadcrumbs. Okay, my hands are getting a little, I'm almost tempted to take, it's pretty good. Raw eggs and almond flour is way better than you think, especially when you haven't eaten all day. I just did a radio show with Chris Aceto, so I am a little hungry. All right. I'm gonna have to pour some more breadcrumbs. A little bit. Let's see if we can just make all this a little bit last here. Okay. Okay. All right. We're gonna do the rest of these a little later. You don't need to watch me do all this. When we take a break, wash my hands. All right, we're back. I just washed my hands up. I got my chicken cutlets coated. Now, in lieu of using omega-3 eggs, I like to add a little extra essential fat. You can use egg whites too, and you can dip your chicken breast in the egg whites if you want to avoid a little bit of extra fat from the yolks. I like the whole egg; it gives it a better taste. Now, because you're not using breadcrumbs, from a store, breadcrumbs have a little salt in them. It gives it a nice taste. So the almond flour is sodium-free. So I like to take a little salt and just kind of sprinkle it over the top of my chicken cutlets before I put them in a pan. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this if you want to bake them. So I have a little baking pan here, and what I do is I take my macadamia nut oil, my Species Nutrition macadamia nut oil. Now, the reason I'm a big macadamia nut fan is because macadamia nut oil has a ton of monounsaturated heart-healthy fats in there. It also has a perfect balance of omega-3 and 6 fats in here. But the most important thing is, number one, it tastes great, like butter. Number two, this stuff can be used to cook with. It has a very high smoke point, over 420 degrees. That means when you cook with it, it doesn't break down, it doesn't degrade, it retains its health quality. Okay, so I'm gonna pour some in the pan here, and I'm gonna show you the ghetto way of doing it, my way. I pour some and then I just kind of wipe it around. All we're really doing here is, we don't want the chicken breast to stick, the chicken cutlets, because if they stick, it's gonna be a pain in the neck to get them out of here after we cook, all right? So I wipe that around. Now I take my chicken cutlets and I put them in the pan. Okay. Okay. Normally I would have a lot more of those, but we're going to use this for now. Now we're going to take these and we're going to put these in the oven at 425, 450 degrees until they're cooked. We'll know when the breadcrumbs start to brown, we'll know they're cooked, and we'll test them. Okay. Leave that in there. Now, back to our tray, because now what we're going to do is we're going to make the fried version of the chicken cutlets, okay? So I got to prepare some more chicken. We're going to take another yolk in here, put it in here with the whole egg, and we got to get our fork, and we're going to scramble that up. Once again, I like the whole egg, so I think it gives it a little bit more of a battery taste without having the thick breadcrumbs. But you can use egg whites. Egg whites are fine. Okay, let's get I'm gonna pour some more almond flour on there. I'm gonna spread it around. Okay. It's a little bit of a messy job, like I said, but someone's got to do it, right? Whatever. Here we go. I'm gonna flip them. Put them over here. Flip these. Here. And the old Fabergé commercial used to say, and so on, and so on, and so on. For those of you my age, 40 and over, you will know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are in your 20s, you will have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. So we got the protein from the chicken. We got the protein and the good essential fats from the egg whites, or whole eggs, I should say, the omega-3 eggs. And we got fat and protein from the almonds. So we got nothing but fat and protein. We got very minimal carbs. There's maybe a little bit of carbs in the almond flour, just whatever naturally in almonds, but there's no added carbs here. And you start getting the little pieces left, you kind of get a little lazy, so you got to kind of just. The good thing about making a mess is that it's my house and I can do whatever I want in my house. That's great. And I'll just clean it up, that's all I have to. But okay, let's just get the last couple made here. Okay. Now, if you don't want to put a ton of almond flour on there too, you could actually do less. You can just very lightly coat it. Some people like lightly coated. I like it a little thicker because I want to pretend I'm eating a real chicken breast, you know? All right, let's get these last pieces in here. This is the lazy way of doing it. When you get the last pieces in there, you just kind of mix them in there with your hands. And then you put them all right in here. And you just take the rest of the almond flour that's sticking to my hands like crazy. You just kind of mush it around in here. Now I'm going to pour a little bit more of this stuff in here. Not making too much of a mess. Okay, there we go. Once again, that egg is like glue. It makes all the almond flour stick. Okay, I'm going to put those over there. This piece over here. And now I'm going to wash my hands one more time. And then I'm going to show you how to fry these things, and we're going to taste them. The best part is the tasting part. I can't wait to do that. I want to eat this stuff right off my hands. It's so good. But stay tuned one more minute. All right, I got my pan. The wider the surface area, the more chicken cutlets you can put on there. And I'm lazy. I don't like to do multiple doses, so I want to try to get them all in here. Now, when you're frying chicken cutlets, okay, you got to put a little bit more oil in. You can't just like grease up the pan. You got to put enough in here where it actually will coat the bottom and it'll actually fry them in here. I'm going to even add more of this. So this will increase your calories a little bit because you're going to have more fat, because some of this fat's going to get absorbed into the chicken cutlets. Okay. All right. Now it's nice. I got a nice coating where if you look at it, it actually is fluidly moving around. It's not just coating the bottom. Once you do that, you're going to take your chicken cutlets and you're going to lay them in here. I actually might have to do two loads, but because you don't want to crowd them too much. They will shrink. The chicken will shrink as it's cooking, so you can put a little bit more in here than you think you can put in here. Let's see if we can squeeze them all in here. I don't know if we can do it though. Okay. Because what happens is they'll start sticking to the pan. I think that might be all we can fit in here. Let's see if we can get one more in here. Get this little piece in here. Yeah, let's just jam them all in here. Okay. Now we got them all in here. Wipe my hands off here. Gotta have napkins. Bounty paper towels are the best, by the way. The other ones don't do anything. They don't absorb anything. All right. Now, just to add, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil because I put a little bit more in here than I thought I was gonna put in here, just around the edge so it doesn't stick. All right. Now we're perfect. Come on over to my stove. I'm gonna put the stove on high to start with. And we're going to cook these. Now I got to get a plate. Now watch those things. They're going to, as that oil heats up, those chicken breasts are going to start cooking, and they're going to start smelling absolutely delicious. Now I know a lot of you are going to ask me how long to leave them in for, but the truth of the matter is that there's no set time limit. And I already ruined my shirt. I knew I was going to wear a light blue shirt. It was going to get nice and dirty. All right, so once this oil cooks, these will cook very quickly because chicken breasts are thin. I cut them super thin, so these are going to go much faster than the baked ones. Let's take a look on the baked ones while this is cooking. It looks like they're cooking. Let me see if I can pull this out a little bit. I advise you use a... There we go. All right, they're still browning. Let's leave them in. Mess them up. Let's go back over here. Let me get my fork. I don't like to use big utensils. I use like a little fork, and what I do is I just keep moving the stuff around because you don't want it to stick. Because remember, there's egg on here, and eggs make like omelets. So you'll see this starting to brown. You hear the oil starting to sizzle? That's a good sign. And once again, we can heat and we can saute and cook like this on top of the stove with macadamia oil because of the high smoke point of macadamia oil, as opposed to you put olive oil in here, it will burn and it will ruin all the health properties of the olive oil and it will kill the taste. If you use cooking oil like corn oil or any kind of other these omega-6 fats, you will be making yourself very unhealthy. Not good for your heart, because when you cook or raise the temperature, I should say, above a certain point with omega-6 fats, which are like corn oil, they degrade and they break down. They lose their health benefits. Not that they have that many health benefits to begin with. Okay, here we go. We're getting started here. I'm going to start flipping them. You see how it's nice. It's getting that nice like little cooked look on the side. There we go. Looking real nice. You can't just put this on the stove and then start watching TV, because if you do that, you know what happens? They burn, and then they don't taste good when they're burned. Especially when you're using When you're using almond flour does not taste good burned. Let me just tell you. I can tell you from firsthand, I've made a lot of mistakes. I'll go to the bathroom or I'll start checking my text messages, and then before I know it, I smell burning. Okay, that's not what we want. Okay, look at those. Look at how beautiful those things look. Look at this one. It's getting brown. That's going to be the first one done. All right. See, and I actually see as they're cooking, they're shrinking. So because they're shrinking, everything's fitting in the pan nicely. So I'm glad I didn't do 2 loads. And the good thing about mac oil is it doesn't kind of dissipate. If you notice, it's staying here. It's not drying out to the fact where I have to keep putting more and more and more in there. When you have oils that do that, that means the oil is breaking down and degrading. You don't want that. The mac oil is staying intact here. Now, granted, some of these chicken cutlets will start to absorb the oil as the water in the chicken breast dehydrates out of the chicken breast, and as it cooks, you might get a little more oil absorption. So probably by the time we're done cooking these, there will be very little oil left in the pan. And once again, I'm leaving it on high. I can get away with leaving it on high without burning anything because I'm constantly moving them around. If I didn't leave them around, like if my dad was doing this, my dad would put it on low and he would let it cook for like 24 hours. He'd do like a slow cooker version of this, which is not going to give us the affected thing we're going for, which is a nice brown chicken cutlet. Remember, we're trying to emulate what a real chicken cutlet tastes like, only in a healthy way. Now we're getting some nice browning going. You see that? That's what we want to see. That's the almond flour, getting a nice brown look to it. And some of the breadcrumbs fall off, and that's to be expected. That even happens with regular chicken cutlets, so I'm not really worried about that. Just keep everything moving around nice and easy. I can't wait to taste this stuff. I'm actually going to taste this little crunchy here. Hopefully I won't burn my mouth. Now that's good, a nice brown almond flour. To me, it tastes just like breadcrumbs. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. All right. We're getting closer to what we're looking for here. Once again, I keep trying. Also, remember, if you cut these things nice and thin, they cook really quickly, and that's always what we want. And what I do, I don't know what you guys do. See these extra little crunchies? I save those because I want to eat those later. That's really egg and almond flour on it, so it's almost like a little omelet. You get a little extra bonus plan there if they fall off the chicken cutlets. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. These are looking really nice now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down a little bit because now it's starting to get a little hairy here. And as the fat dwindles out of the chicken cutlets and as they cook, it's going to start getting a little splashy, and I don't want to get splashed with hot oil. That's not even hot macadamia nut oil is not a good idea to get splashed with. Very, very damaging to the skin. All right. I think we're almost done here. This piece is definitely done. I'm going to taste this piece. Oh, that is good. There's nothing better than chicken flash fried and a little bit of macadamia nut oil. And I'm going to let Amanda try it later. She's going to like it too. I know it. She is. She didn't know I can cook because I always go after you eat every meal because I'm lazy, but I can do it. Now, if it was up to me, I would probably take them out right now because I don't mind, but you know what? A lot of people are weird with if it's not cooked all the way through, so let's just kind of spread a little bit. This piece was kind of having, I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm going to turn this off. Just let it kind of finish up here. And if you notice, the great thing about, for me is I would eat everything here. This is obviously several servings, but I don't worry about pouring the oil out. There's very little oil left in here if you look in the pan. Very little left. That means the chicken absorbed it. I didn't put that much in there to begin with. If you spread it over the course of the chicken cutlet, it probably added just the right amount of fat to these chicken cutlets. And with the added almond on there, which we're looking for most men, we're looking for 50 grams of protein. We're looking for about 25, 30 grams of fat per meal. For women, we're looking at maybe like 30 grams of protein with 15 grams of fat. This will fit the bill. I guarantee it. If we weigh these things out, and I weigh out, 5 or 6 ounces for a woman, it'll give her 15 grams of fat. I'll bet you. 15, 20 grams, easy. If I weigh this out 8 ounces for a man, I guarantee we'll get about 30 grams of fat out of this. I figured it out before. So let's get all this stuff over here. All these nice chickens. So we got all the chicken cutlets, and then we're going to take the little almond egg crunchies and just kind of put it around the side as garnishing almost. Now, okay. Now this would be perfect. This is a perfect meal. Obviously not the whole thing, obviously. You take this and put it on a plate with some greens, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit, and you got the perfect ketogenic meal. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to check on the oven, and then we're going to show you how to prepare your meals and put it on a plate nice so it looks nice, and you can show it off to all your company or whoever else wants to try to eat very healthy. All right, guys, we got our fried chicken cutlets out. Now we're going to go into the oven, and we're going to see if these are done, because there's really no way to test them unless you take them out and you cut into them. So let's go into the oven. Make sure you wear a potholder. Believe me, you'll get killed if you don't. There, I even have two here. There. Let's bring this out here. Okay. Cut into this. All right. Now that's almost cooked. I would put it in a little longer. This one's good. Let's taste a piece of this one. That's good. That's really good. The advantage of these, if you look, is that all the almond flour is still on there. It didn't fall off. When you fry them, it falls off. I think we're good. I think that's good. I think we're gonna call it quits on this one. Let's turn this off, and let's bring this over to our serving table over here. Okay. That over here. Diva, my Yorkie teacup is smelling the chicken as well as the other dogs. Now, I don't know if that wire is getting in the way, but I'm going to get to, what do I need? Oh, a paper towel. All right, I'm going to teach you guys how to do something now. I like to just not eat chicken, even though this is a complete meal right here. I got to make some garnishings. I got to add some bulk to it, because this is not going to fill us up. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to take a little broccoli, and I do all my vegetables raw, by the way. Just want to let you know. I got a little broccoli. I'm going to break off a little head of a broccoli head here. And my knife, I'm just going to cut these up. Actually, they're kind of cut up already. So I'm going to put a little raw broccoli here. I'm going to get, now this I wouldn't use on a ketogenic diet, but I'm using it because I'm not on a ketogenic diet. This is my beefsteak tomato I got in the supermarket yesterday. Delicious. I'm going to cut a few pieces of that. You guys can use maybe a cucumber. I don't have any cucumbers. Cucumber would be perfect on the ketogenic diet. You don't have to worry about carbs. There's very little carbs in cucumber. Now, I am going to add even more fat. I know, you're going to say, I can't believe he's going to add more fat, but I'm adding more fat to mine. I'm going to take a little bit of avocado, because I love avocados. And I am going to put some, I like to slice it like that in little pieces. I'm going to put that there on my little makeshift salad I've been making here, a little garnishing. I'm going to take a little bit of kale. Everyone knows I'm a big kale nut. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of kale right here. Okay, it's really nice. Take a little mac oil, just drizzle it, because we already have plenty all over our stuff. Okay, a little salt. And then I got to decide, do I want fried or baked? I'm going to go with baked right now, because I already showed you the other ones, so I'm going to put some baked. For me, this is probably the perfect amount, because I don't eat tons and tons of protein anymore. That's probably about 6 ounces of protein, all fat and carbs. I got some veggies here. The only thing I would switch out is instead of the tomatoes, I would put cucumbers. I got a little avocados and some nice fresh broccoli. And look at that. That's a beautiful meal. Now, if you want to use the fried one, we could put the fried one here, and I can make a plate up like that. But this is fried chicken. This is baked chicken cutlets with almond coating, with kale, tomatoes, avocado, and broccoli. One of the most healthy meals you can eat. Super low carb, great for the summer. Guys, if you want to get in shape, this is a great meal to eat.